just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Woo! We are live. And oh my gosh, you guys, it's the week before Christmas. Oh my gosh, I feel like that poem like coming to my head. The week before Christmas and all through the house. I'm just going to start like popping that baby out, right? We've got an exciting week here with the Insider Secrets Club and the Ultimate Support Group. And today we have the awesome opportunity to be able to honor one of our members. Her name is Stena Schmitt. She's an ACT tutor, and she's been with us since the beginning, I swear. And she has really brought our community to a whole nother level. She's really great at participating, and she helps other people out. She will take her own time to be able to give advice to people and support people. And really, isn't that what the Ultimate Support Group for Online Tutors is? It's a place where we all can support each other. And that's what I love. It's not like I have to support everybody all of the time. Like, our community really comes together and helps other people out. So I'm here today to honor Stena Schmitt. Hey, I see some of us. Ooh, I like this new feature. We've got some people on in the group. Tell us who you are, what you tutor, because I know that I'm seeing some people that I recognize, like Tammy, whoop, and I see Ann, woo, and I see Terry. Oh, Terry is always such a team player. I love it. You guys are awesome. So we are honoring today Miss Stena Schmitt with the Tutorpreneur Hero 2017. Look, this is the last 2017 that's going to be given away, you guys. Last one. No more be given away. And it goes to Stena. I love it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you guys to Stena. Hey, Stena.
Hello. How are you?
How's it going? Good. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. So are you enjoying the holiday swing yet?
Yes. We've been doing a lot of Christmas shopping and wrapping gifts. We finally got rid of not got rid of, but we cleaned up all the wrapping paper, tape, and scissors off the living room floor. So
yeah. This year I've been extremely blessed. My daughter has decided that she is going to wrap every single present.
Ooh.
I know, this has never happened before. So it was pretty awesome to have her step on up. I mean, she doesn't volunteer to do too much, so this was great. You want to take on wrapping? You got it. And she's like, "What? Do you not like it?" I'm like, "No, I just love that you want to help with something."
Oh yes, having those younger ones actually help with is a great idea.
Yeah, and she's 13 now, so she can totally handle it. It's not something that's out of the realm for her. So awesome. So tell us, Stena, how did you get started in this whole tutoring business world?
Well, when I moved to Rochester, Minnesota to be closer to my brother, I started with Sylvan Learning Center, and I thought it was a great program. But I was a little disappointed because in order to work there, you have had to have either a higher degree in math or engineering or something like that, or you need to have a teaching certificate. It didn't have to be a current teaching certificate, but you were required to have one at one time. And I thought this was great, but at the same time I thought it was awful because you were required to have it, but yet you weren't getting paid like you should have been.
Sure.
The most you could get paid at Sylvan Learning Center was $13.95 an hour.
Wow.
And that was if you were doing ACT test prep or advanced math and science. So those engineers were the ones getting the most money.
Sure. And how much were they charging?
They were charging $48 per hour per child. Wow. And more than likely, you had 3 children at the table every hour.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm. So there was about $150 running through that table every hour. And the excuse is that because it was a chain or a franchise, half the money had to go towards marketing the franchise. And so I says, well, what about if we had a caseload? Do we get paid for that? And it was like, no, you're not getting paid to have your caseload for those extra hours you work. You only get paid for when you work with students.
Got it. So they're still, even if they have $75 going towards marketing, I don't know how franchises work. So, I mean, there must be just some, I wonder how much even then like Sylvan Corporate then gets of that 75 that they're charging, right? They got quite a massive amount that's going there. It just seems like such a really crazy system to be a part of. They're still raking in some pretty serious money there, and making it off of the tutor.
Right. Absolutely.
Which, yeah, that is that's the stuff that makes my blood boil when I hear those kinds of stories of people that, you have worked so hard for your degree. And you get it, and then you get a teaching job, and sometimes it's an okay paying teaching job, and sometimes it's not. And then you have these kinds of companies that they're really taking advantage of the people who either don't have a teaching job or want to make some extra cash, right? So crazy. And I just think, you know what, you guys, don't go to Sylvan. Hang out with us. We'll teach you how to do it on your own. You'll keep the $75 in your pocket.
Right. Absolutely. And then since it was a part-time job, I had to get another job. And during that time, I got a master's degree in entrepreneurship pretty much. And part of that degree was I had to create my own business.
Oh.
And so I tweaked it a little bit and thought about tutoring. Even though Sylvan had told me tutoring is just a part-time job, I says, no. If you're charging $48 an hour, you can definitely get a full-time job with this. Yes. And so that's how I started.
Yeah. And think about it. I mean, even if you had like charging $48 per your own client, let's say, and you were able to do 3 students at a time, you're making 150. You don't need to work full-time hours. I mean, you could work 20 hours a week or 10 hours a week making what other people would make. Do you know what I mean? Like doing like a real job, and this is a real job.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like a real job to me sometimes, but because I love it so much.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what
and look at this. So Elaine said it was the same when she worked for a franchise. She paid $35 per 1.5 hours tutoring 5 students.
Wow.
$35 is a little bit better than 35 pounds. I think that's a pound symbol. Because Elaine is out there in, oh gosh, she's going to be mad at me because I always forget. Scotland or Ireland. I always stick up the two. Okay, she's got a Scottish accent and she's from Ireland. She lives in Ireland now. All right, let me know if I got that right, Elaine. So I always mess it up. And Tammy said, that's unbelievable that there are companies that do this. It's just so crazy. And lots of people congratulating you, by the way, on you. We've got Terry said, congrats, Stena. And Mitchell, congrats. Awesome. We got Tammy. She said, hey, Stena. We should ask Tammy how those fires are over out in her area. Give us an update over there. Has it calmed down at all? I heard that they are still going in Ventura, if I heard that correctly. Crazy. So our prayers go on out to you, Tammy, and all of the people out in California being affected by those fires. Not a way to be able to spend your Christmas holiday. Crazy. So you were working with this company, and then you were creating a business plan as you were going back to school to get your degree. And then what happened?
Well, I decided to move to Iowa because I had met a man. And as part of that, I thought I was subbing during the school year, but I needed something during the summer that would be something I like to do instead of just working a part-time job. So I decided to tutor. And I've been doing it ever since. So I've been doing it for over 4 years now.
Nice.
So
awesome. When did you decide to add online tutoring into the mix?
One of my students, it has a disability and has trouble walking. So I figured when working on the farm, it wouldn't be working out for her to come to my house, so we went to the library. Well, mom had 4 kids, couldn't get her to tutoring all the time, was struggling to get her there, struggling to pick her up, and it was taking forever. Not to mention the child wasn't comfortable. She was seeing her friends watching us tutor her and stuff like that, and she just couldn't be herself. So I decided, why don't we go ahead and just do it online and see what happens?
Yeah.
And she was the most comfortable student ever. Instead of getting through
Oh,
2 skills an hour, we could get through 4 or 5.
wow. Oh
And
my
she was able to do
gosh.
everything that she wanted to do.
And why do you think that happened for her?
Because when you are in your home, you're already comfortable. And so now you're at home and you can be on the computer, which a lot of children nowadays want to be on the computer. So they get their screen time and then they get to have fun doing it. You
Yeah.
start on time, you end on time,
Yes.
and then you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've experienced the same exact thing with my reading students, is that they are so much more comfortable at home doing their tutoring than they are when they come to my house. And it's not that I don't make them feel at home. I do everything I can to make them feel at home, right? But at the same time, there's just nothing like being at their own home in their own comfort zone, being able to do it. And I feel more comfortable too. I feel more comfortable in my own home too. There's something to be said about the tutor as well. Here I am in my space. Everything is here. I don't have to carry it everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good setup, and the kids respond really well to it. So what an amazing story with that little girl who just really flourished online. That's amazing. So what do you specifically tutor?
I tutor ACT test prep. I started out with elementary, middle school reading and math, and then I ended up doing ACT test prep instead. Because a lot of parents are afraid to say that their child may have a problem, but with
Mhm.
ACT, they want them to get into college and they want them to have scholarships.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you added ACT prep on into the whole mix there. That's awesome. And what tools do you use to teach ACT prep online?
What I do is I use the same curriculums that I've always used, which is a Kaplan ACT book. Um, and there's a fun English bundle that I use, and then I use the Barron's ACT prep book as well for
Okay.
science and math.
Cool.
And then I use Edmodo. So since high schoolers are very busy, we only meet once a week. But then I give them homework on Edmodo, where I give them an assignment and they can go ahead and work on it at their own pace.
Awesome.
Sometimes they do their work, sometimes they don't. But I tell them that if they're going to do it and do better, they're going to have to do the work. And most of them do the work.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, they've got that motivation, right, of being able to go to the college, their dream college, right? I always love building up that dream with people right away. And I could see how easy building up that dream of going into your ideal college would be, right? And finding out, do you find out with them, like, okay, here's the score that you need to get in order to get into the school that you're looking at?
Sometimes,
Okay.
not always. I usually, like, if I'm working with them, I do a baseline test so that I can find out where they're at. And then we create a study plan to figure out how long it's going to take us. And that's how we decide how long our program is going to be. Great. Then what we do is we just work through it. We work through subject by subject, and I give them homework along the way. And I tell them, look, here with me, you're supposed to make your mistakes. Then when we go out and you actually take the real ACT, you don't have to worry about making mistakes because you've made them all with me.
Yeah. And you've had somebody guiding you through that process, right? So that you can be more successful. Like, as soon as you're about to make that mistake, like, ooh, yeah, nope, she told me not to do that.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I love it. All right. You heard it from me. You guys should all hire Stena if you're looking for an ACT test prep tutor. I'm going to be calling you soon because the ACT is going to be coming down our path really, really soon here. I've got a 14-year-old. So when do you suggest people begin with thinking about hiring their tutor when they're in those high school years? Like, what year should they start worrying about that?
When I first started, I thought junior, senior would be the best time to actually hire a tutor. But actually, one of my students was a ninth grader when she hired me. And
Okay.
like, my dad used a tutor in ninth grade, took the ACT for the first time, and then she went to, and then he took it as a junior, and then in January of his junior year, started applying for scholarships. So he was ready to go.
Nice. I mean, talk about like getting your child prepared beforehand, right? I mean, what could be the best gift in the entire world than that? You know, and unfortunately, schools look at scores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so most of us, we all know that, and we want to be able to get, you know, the best for our kids and get them the tools that they need. And thank goodness there are people like you to make that happen. You are blessing the world with your skills and your talent, which is why, if you guys have missed it, Miss Stena Schmitt is receiving the Tutorpreneur Hero Award. Woo! 2017. Yes, I said 2017. It's the last one. Can you guys believe it? The last one I'll be giving. Next person gets to be the first person to get the 2018. We don't know who that's going to be.
Question.
Oh, we do have a question here. Okay, so Terry, I love Terry's question. She's the best. What do you do if you get a student that is way behind, like in math? Do you just look at overall progress, or how do you handle that?
That's a very good question, and in fact, I've done that. One of my students actually had to take my course twice, which is like 3 months at a time, so they took 6 months worth of courses because they took 3 months, took the ACT, didn't like the score, and took it again. And after that second time of taking it, then he actually got a $10,000 scholarship to college.
Wow.
Another student was struggling in algebra because for some reason their teacher wasn't teaching them like they were supposed to. They would assign the assignment and say, good luck. Mm-hmm. Never giving any instruction or any notes or anything like that. So we first worked on math, and then we worked on the ACT. Because if you don't have those basic math skills, you're not going to even begin to succeed on the ACT.
Sure.
And I use Let's Go Learn for math.
Love that program. Love it. Let's Go Learn. It's rock. That one rocks. You have like instant problems right there for you to be able to work on, and you don't have to figure it all out and find really good program, like worksheets or problems or anything. I mean, talk about having resources at the tip of our fingers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to find a problem, type it into the search bar in IXL, bam, you've got a problem right there to work on.
Yep.
So if you guys have not tried out IXL at all, definitely that is a tool that I think all math tutors need to have. I have even been using, I was helping math for some of my kiddos in the past, but I'm also using IXL for the reading and grammar section.
Mm.
So I have some kids that are struggling with grammar. I have some kids that are struggling with, like, what is a suffix? What is a prefix? And the meanings of those. And so we've been using IXL for that as well. So if you guys don't have IXL, definitely check it out. Now, I know you've been using a lot of different social media tools online so that people can find you. What types of social media tools have you been using?
I have been using Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Quora, the question one. Mm-hmm. And I really like that because a lot of people, depending on what your subject area is, your question's going to go along with your topic. So mm-hmm. my questions deal with the ACT or SAT. Mm-hmm. I don't really feel like qualified to answer the SAT questions, but I do for the ACT questions. And a lot of them also go off of that. So will my scores qualify for this college or this college? And then I can put a plug in there. And it mm-hmm. actually, people follow you when you do that. Mm-hmm. I also use something like Hootsuite, but I use Postfitty instead. It's a little cheaper than Hootsuite, but it does work just as well.
Cool.
And then I've also been following Michelle Schaefer
Uh-huh.
and doing some of the things that she wants to do, like she suggests, like her hook lines and not dynamic.
Love it.
I love it too. I now write a blog based off of my headline, not make my headline based off my blog.
Ah.
So I don't have to go backwards and redo it.
And both strategies do work, but when you go into hook line dynamic, all of a sudden you can start finding out some different words that are going to help people to want to open and read what it is that you've written. And you spent so much time writing it, you want them to obviously open it, right? So give it a good headline, and hook line dynamic definitely helps with being able to do that. Awesome. Sweet. Those are some really great tools. And I love, like, as a community, you guys, our whole goal is constantly to be supporting. This is why we are the ultimate support group for online tutors, right? So let's say that Stena posts something on Quora and she has, like, let us know in the Insider Secrets Club, hey, I posted something inside of here. Can you please upvote it? We all get to upvote it. And guess what happens when you upvote those Quoras? You jump to the top. The person who has the most upvotes gets listed first. So it's pretty cool stuff what we can do as a community for people and how we can help leverage you to be able to get found online. It's just really, really cool stuff. And I was actually taking a look. You not only have done Twitter, Facebook, and Quora, you have also done YouTube, my friend.
Yes, I have.
Because your videos, when I typed in Stena Schmitt tutor, guess what? You're the only Stena Schmitt tutor out there in the world that's created a video. So if somebody were, like, searching for Stena Schmitt tutor, they're going to find you. They're going to find your videos. They're going to find out what you've done because you are on page 1 with that keyword. And there's lots of ways to be able to get on page 1 for different keywords. And we should all be on page 1 for our name of our keyword. Otherwise, people are not going to be able to do the kind of research that they want to do in order to learn more about you. So Terry wants to know, what is your favorite website?
Well, my website is, my personal website is saintstrainingandtutoring.weebly.com. And I guess my favorite one, I'm getting used to Twitter, especially the list part of Twitter, because of the fact that I have created 4 different kinds of lists. One for ACT prep, one for homeschooling, one for administrators, and then, of course, your Insider Secrets list. Mm-hmm. And with that, I get to follow a lot more people and understand what they're writing, who they're writing it to, and be able to tweak that information to fit my needs as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I just realized I have, like, kept a comment on up there. It's kind of covering your nose. That probably won't be good. Faux pas in the live world. And you know what? So, like, I have been participating on Instagram a lot lately. Some people have been seeing me on there. And one of the things that people like to see are behind the scenes things. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to take a behind the scenes footage photo here. So I'm going to have you smile, and we've got all of our people out there. You guys are all going to smile too. Are you guys ready? You're going to smile with us just because we need to smile more in our day. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile! Woo! Awesome. So you have really been with your Twitter too. You have been I've been seeing you do your Twitter posts and all of that kind of stuff. We have inside of Twitter, we have a group where we can actually just go right on in. We can see who's posting what, and we can help each other with posting more stuff for them. When we think about connecting with other online tutors, that's all part of the process. You know, it's not a matter of just refer me. It's, hey, what can I do to help other online tutors succeed in their business? You know, and that's one of the things that we can do. You know, we can comment on each other's blogs. We can share each other's posts. These are all things that we do. And this is all stuff that you do, Stena, which is why you are receiving this award today, because you've been such an awesome key player with all of this. And in fact, you have even you've added so much value to our community, and you started like a blogging group within our group so that people could get better at blogging. So tell us about that.
Okay. Well, when I first started, I would have a hard time trying to come up with blog ideas, and I would see other people just fly through their blog ideas. They would write it up, they would have something every day, and I was like, this is insane. How can you not come up with ideas? How do you have a blank slate? And I'm like, okay, I can do this. All the books that I ever read, like I can't think of it right off the top of my head, but they talked about a mastermind group. I think it was even one of the books that you read on your book club. Think and Grow Rich, I think it was coming up with a mastermind group. So I thought about it. What could I do with a mastermind group? And then I read Michelle Schaefer's book, Extreme Traffic Adventure for 31 Days of Growing Your Traffic. And she talked about growing a blogging mastermind group. So I was searching for people that I knew would really like to be in it, and those that seemed to have a handle on how to blog easily. And to come find out, everybody struggles with blogging. It's not just me. It's not just some of us newbies. It's everybody. And so that was kind of nice to know that I'm not alone. And we meet once a week. We talk about different blogging goals that we have, something similar to what you do every week for group coaching. And also, what are we working on right now? What are some programs that we really like and why? Here's what we've learned. Here's how we've done it, and those kind of things. And it's just another support group where we can work together on blogging. And then we come up with for the next week.
Yep. So. Awesome. And then what great sharing power that has too, right? Because you can then share each other's blog posts, comment on each other's blog posts. I mean, there's nothing like, and I've done this, there's nothing like writing a blog post and having 0 comments. Right? And you're like, anybody out there? Anybody. I would really like somebody to read this. Comment, please, so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. Because it can get frustrating.
Yeah, yes, it is very frustrating. You feel like you're all by yourself. I think that Tool has a question.
Tool does. He says, what's your Twitter handle?
It's at TCHR, so teacher 121.
Yep. I'm following you, girl. I'm following you. Now, you have been inside of the Insider Secrets Club for quite a long time now, and we've appreciated you and everything that you add value to with everything that you do. What has been your favorite program that you've taken a part in?
I really like the conferences because as a former teacher, I love going to the conferences because you learn a little bit more about what's going on and those kind of things. And in starting your own business, you have to learn how to do everything by yourself, or at least it feels that way. Even though with the group, you have a lot of people to ask, sometimes your questions feel less than what you want to ask. It's less professional, I guess, or too questiony, where you're asking too many questions and not contributing.
Sure.
So with the conferences, you come up with different ideas that you're like, oh, okay, so now I can pay attention and I can really work on it, and then experiment on your own time. So that's what I like, is your conferences.
Awesome.
If I had more time during the school year, I would say your book clubs, but that's
You're pretty busy. Yeah, we've got we just finished last week Social Media Hacks 2018, because there were tips that you could put into place right now for the upcoming year with your social media goals. And we focused on Pinterest and Instagram. And you know what? I love preparing for this kind of stuff because it motivates me to really kick it up a notch in that area. And I so love it. So I've decided that every December, I'm going to have a social media hacks conference. Yay. So next year you can expect social media hacks 2019, because you know what? Guess what happens in social media world? Things change, right? So we'll be able to stay up to date on the newest, the greatest, the latest, and any changes that have happened, so that we can stay up to date on that. Awesome. Now we've got you have actually connected with a group of people that online tutors, like online tutors, like dream is to have like homeschooling students, because they know that they want to work some daytime hours, right? And what's a great opportunity? Homeschooling, students or students from other countries. And so you've really tapped into the homeschooling community. How did you do that?
Well, in Iowa, there's different options to homeschool. You can either do an IPI, where you are individually private instruction and you have no association with the school district whatsoever. You have the HSAP option, where you're working with a homeschool assistance program, and that's what I do. You have CPI, which is competent private instruction, where you have a licensed teacher that you're working under, and those are your options. With those options, the HSAP actually works through the school district, and what we do as teachers is we help you figure out the curriculum that works best for you, or we give you options of what's out there, and then we help you make sure that you're on the right track, either with making sure that you have your college courses or your high school courses figured out, so that when you go to college, you have your transcript, you have your course syllabuses, those kind of things, so that the colleges know what classes to put you in. Or maybe you need curriculum. We can give you that, those kind of things. And then we answer any questions that you may have too. Along with that, they can be in sports or drama or take extra classes if they want to, all those things.
Very cool. Now, have you gotten any clients from any of your homeschool connections that you have?
Well, not lately, but I know it's just a matter of time when I'm going to. The thing is word of mouth. The
Sure.
more you work with the homeschooling families and those kind of things, the more your name gets out there, and then people come to you.
Yeah. This is a huge referral business. And so, anytime you can get that whole word of mouth in any community, it's a really good thing. I once connected with a woman who was part of a huge parenting community, and she always was like name dropping me. and so then they would call me and hire me. So it's just awesome, because they almost talk people into hiring you before they talk about hiring you before you even have one conversation with them. Like, they're already convinced that you are the person that they want to work with.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know about you, but I hate selling myself.
Yeah, I hate doing that too.
So it makes it so much easier. It's a lot less stressful when you can get those referrals. So very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing about the successes that you've been having with your students. You're pretty much like booked right now, aren't you? You're pretty close?
I'm close. I have 3 students on a regular basis, but that keeps me pretty busy with the homeschooling group as well. So yeah, I'm pretty busy.
So you got lots of stuff going on with that homeschooling group, and then you've got a couple of your own students on the side there to bring in some additional cash, which is awesome.
Right.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and again, congratulations on winning the Tutorpreneur Hero Award. Woo!
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thank you guys for joining us. We actually are not going to be having any live calls next week because of the holiday season. So we will return the following week after. Oh, no, that's going to be New Year's. Never mind. You know what? Stay tuned. There'll be one coming on up soon. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.